Why, hello there. Welcome back to this husk of a channel. I know I've been gone for a while, and I will probably be gone for a while after this video again, but I just figured I'd put out something about my life recently. Me and my girlfriend went to Ireland this past week, and we had a really great time. It was a lot of walking. I'm fat, so I'm not used to that much walking, and hopefully I lost a few pounds that I'm going to inevitably gain back very soon. But yeah, and just as an American, it was just really weird just going and being on this completely different continent on the other side of the world, kind of. It's funny, I saw this video a few weeks before I left by it was about follies, which are buildings in Ireland that were built for no particular purpose. They're just there. Sometimes they're old enough that it's just a single wall that's still left standing, but it was once a building. Actually, sometimes it was only ever just a wall, especially in the instance of famine follies, or I believe in Ireland they're referred to just as the famine is referred to in Ireland as just the hunger because it was an artificial famine that was brought on by greed and England's control over the state at the time, over the country at the time. And so I don't know a lot about the history, but follies are just very very interesting because they're just examples of history that are kind of pointless in a way. But famine follies in particular were less pointless because they were and by the way, you should go and watch this Qxir video. I will have it linked in the description and in the card over here. Food insecurity was extremely high at the time, and so everyone was starving and nobody had enough money for food. The wealthy landowners, the lords, as this was more of a feudal era, had a responsibility to feed the people that lived under them. It was seen as shameful to just hand money out to the commoners, so the wealthy landowners would have them build something and then pay them for their work, for their time. But these things didn't have a purpose. There are many buildings and structures, and I remember in his video there was this like ornate looking wall that was there as a gate to something that was never built, right? And so it's just there for nothing. And so there are examples of this all over the place in Ireland. And I particularly was in Dublin, and so there is a folly in the center of Dublin that is very cool. It's just this giant, very old looking wall that I was very interested in when I saw it. And because that was really the only bit of information that I had about Dublin, at least like any nerdy information that I had going into this trip. And so it was just like anyone I came across that I was having a conversation with that I was like, oh yeah, I'm from New York, I've never been here before. Here's something I know, and then it's actually funny because it didn't seem like they were super aware of follies. At least the one or two people that I talked to about it. But yeah, no, it was very interesting. And there were really only two major downsides to this trip. One was that just all the walking, I'm very out of shape, and so I have blisters on my feet from all the walking, and also my shoes didn't fit right because I always have an issue with that. And so I ended up buying new shoes while I was there, and so it's very interesting because I'm here back in America, and you look at the size chart on my shoes, and you see that UK is the first size that's shown there, which is very interesting because I'm here in America. But anyway, so I'm wearing those new shoes, and we go to this castle in Dublin, and it's very nice, and I'll show you some pictures. And so we go up to this little bridge, and then we're gonna head back down. And the side we went up on, the stairs had a railing, but then on the other side it didn't. So we're heading back down, and my girlfriend Rose says, "Here, let's turn around and go back, because But at some point during me going down the stairs or turning around, I don't really remember, I fell down the stairs. And I was afraid I really hurt myself because, again, I am very heavy, and the bigger they are, the harder they fall, as we all know, physics, Einstein or whatever. And so, miraculously, I did not get that badly hurt. I didn't get really hurt at all. I had a cut on my shin, I had some scrapes on my knees, and my arm feels weird. But it's not broken as far as I can tell. I don't think I significantly sprained it. Dr. Mike, if you want to tell me what's wrong with me, go right ahead. It hurts when I rotate it like this. And I don't think I have full range of motion compared to, because I can really get it to go this way, but I really can't here. So Dr. Mike, let me know. I could really use the publicity, even though I think the big sads wouldn't let me do anything with that newfound success. So maybe don't. It was just really interesting being in Dublin and being in you know, it's not technically in Europe because it's a giant island, but being in a completely different part of the world. This is my first time leaving the continent that I'm currently on, and so it was very interesting. I mean, I've been on cruises and stuff, but that doesn't count. You know, you go to like the Caribbean or whatever, it doesn't really count. You know, flying over the ocean, you know, is a whole different beast. Speaking of, the plane ride was long, and it was a little scary, but that was my fault because I overthink things, and I have this sense of needing to understand why everything is. And that is something that I'm talking about in therapy at the moment, actually. But I was afraid that the plane was going to crash at some point because I think that's a fear everyone has, because even though plane crashes are very rare, because they're rare, they're more talked about, they're more reported on, more people die. I believe more people... No, wait, that's sharks, not plane crashes. More people are killed by cows every year than by sharks. But I don't know if that's the same for plane crashes. Actually, I think you are more likely to die in a nuclear attack than you are to get hit by a train. Hit by a train. Die in a plane crash. I might have hit my head. I don't think so. But maybe. Me and my friend were just talking about this. Every time I have like a major injury like this, like I fell off a bike once, I don't remember the exact moment it happened, and my girlfriend says, oh, that's just adrenaline, and that's definitely possible, but my friend was joking, maybe you just hit your head every time and that's why you don't remember. And I'm like, well, my head would hurt, wouldn't it? And whatever, anyway. And so and also, by the way, here is a very detailed, well animated recreation of the event of me falling down the stairs.
It's me falling down the stairs.
Hey, so it's the next day, and I'm editing this video, and there's like another like 5 minutes of footage of me talking about plane crashes and quantum mechanics and the quantum immortality theory, and I'm like editing it, and I'm like, what's the point of this? I'm talking about Ireland. And so anyway, I just cut it out. You're just gonna have to imagine what I talked about. It's really not that interesting. I'm just gonna put some footage, some pretty footage from Ireland, and you're gonna have to be okay with that. I'll see you guys in the next couple months when I feel like making another video.